Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Ramadan Reminders, a small 15 minutes talk to remind us about this glorious month that is falling upon us. Today I'm going to speak about Sharia, because this, which is commanded to us, comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything we do during this month has as its origin Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Starving ourselves is not missing something, but is a key to open some other door. This emptiness that we acquire, we impose on ourselves, is full of high presence. To seek the presence is the purpose of the starving. The emptiness closes the door and opens a new one. It's a command, but it's not oppression and it's not violent. It's a command on the body that imposes upon it an upset. Yet it is a consolation upon the things of which the body gets attached. It's a fasting that contains in itself penitence, sentencing, and rewards. You deprive the body of the mouthful so that the ruh can be free to the light, without veil, without beating around the bush. Because if life is nothing but a dream, imprisoned, living in prison, to die to the world is waking up to a different reality. And so is this holy month an opportunity to wake up to the being that is in yourself that you cannot see. To be hungry or to be thirsty, on the one hand, is discipline to the body. But as I said, it's not absence that defines this imposition, but a high presence. Because it's a command. Because you're doing this thing because Allah is commanding you. Just imagine that in this very act, willingly, you are following what Allah is commanding. It's a command of the highest strength, of the highest power. We are commanded by so many things. So many things determines the things that we can do and we cannot do. But here, is a command from Allah, higher than anything that you can touch and you can feel and you can perceive, fine, from the highest origin. It's got a lot to do with the mouth, that cave attached to destiny, terrestrial. But with this act, it seeks a new license in its restriction and the abstinence, in the taste that you decline by the command of Allah. You find yourself elevated because it comes from the command of Allah, because it is Allah Himself who has given us the order. So it's not empty. It is not abstinence, but to follow Allah's command is uplifting. Wow. The sentencing here makes you fly. Whatever takes away from the dust, it elevates and enriches the ruh. So the body is contained, but is only fasting when you reach the calm, when you become fully aware that what you are doing, you're doing in the name of Allah. And so the mouth learns to look at the sky. The mouth learns to call upon Allah. And the mouth frees and conveys to you a message and an state that elevates you. Because everything we do it because it's a command from the Beloved. And a command from the Beloved is love itself. What you do for love is not a difficulty. It is a surrender. It is abandonment. It's not a torment. It's the removal of a veil. He becomes present. You become new, renewed, liberated. Just because of something you don't do. A voluntary change. that lifts you from the mud. What do you seek is not for the body. What you seek is for the ruh. The bread here becomes a shadow. But the shadow is not substance. It's not substance for the soul. It's not substance for the ruh. It might be for the body. So why did you feel with shadows what you are missing? If what you are missing doesn't come from the bread. And here you give to yourself a chance by fasting to jump, to remove the break, and to seek another type of food in a table that doesn't come from this world. And that is every time you realize you consciously state, I'm fasting for my beloved. A new feast comes in a new table, in a celestial table, where the presence occupies the space of the meal. And you are fed by the presence of Allah, with your mouth that now looks at the sky, pronouncing His name, surrendering to Him. This is Ramadan commanded by the Beloved. A wisdom for those who are aware. So there is no privation, but the invitation to a new internal banquet is the command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That brings down your pride and your strength. A fast that refrains. While if you look behind and you do it with care, you will find a flame. It's a flame of love. And that's what you want to seek. Because the flesh gets stressed, but the ruh becomes alert. Let the ruh speak and make this command of Allah be what guides you, what takes you near to Him. For there is no other reason in Ramadan but the presence of Allah. To stick to the presence, not the absence of the bread, but the presence of Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.